Hi friends, I welcome you all to another round of occupancy dashboards. So the first dashboard that we created was an Excel based dashboard. It was purely based on Microsoft Excel. Now this is the second dashboard. This is based on Power BI. So this is a Power BI based occupancy dashboard. The reports that we use to generate the dynamic occupancy dashboard, the Power BI occupancy dashboard is the same as that of the Microsoft Excel based occupancy dashboard. And the reports that we use are the same. So the first report that we use is basically the CAFM data that we get, the report which we get from the CAFM, like how many workstations, what is the related capacity, which capacity is attached to which of the spaces, what is the category of the spaces, whether it's an office area or whether um, it's a measured area, and what is the department that's attached to each workstation, what is the neighborhood of each workstation. So this is some of the data that we get from the CAFM. Second set of data is what we get is the head count. So head count is the staff based at the site, their employee ID, name, the department, which floor they are located on, what is their current status, whether they're active or terminated, or and which is the current month we have taken the report. So s- since we want to make this a dynamic report, we always need to ensure that we put the month in the report. So this is, for example, the January month, and then this is a February month. So each month, when we take a download of the report, we just need to copy paste the report, and then that way we're creating a dynamic report and we're ensuring that each month the data is being captured. So these are the two things. The third report that we'll use to create the dynamic occupancy report is it's the badge access report. Uh, here. So the badge access report is going to tell us like which person came and used the badge at which time, on which date, in which month. So example, this person, Daniel Park, for example, from the strategy department, used the card at on 23rd January 2024 at on 23rd January at 17:55. So this is a very important piece of data because it tells us that Mr. Daniel Park came on this particular date, and he did come and stamp his card on this particular date. So this is a very important piece of data. And likewise, we have data for all the employees. So these three pieces of data, basically the CAFM report, the badge access report, and the headcount report, these three reports together give us the materials, basically the inputs to create an occupancy dashboard. So let's go about the process of how do we create the occupancy dashboard and what is the DAX we normally use to create an occupancy dashboard. So the occupancy dashboard, I'll tell you how it looks like. So that occupancy dashboard will look something like this. So one is we derive the maximum attendance. We derive the maximum attendance from our badge access data, and we are saying that at a max on in that particular month in January. So the data, as you see, is basically changing with the months. So in January, at a max, 48 people came to the site, to this particular site. We first start with the high level data and then we dig deep down. So we are saying at a max 48 people came to the site. So this is a very important piece of information to start with because it is telling the management that on this particular site in the month of January, a maximum of 48 people came and used the facility. And on average 36, and it is telling again that total of 36 staff members on an average use the facility in the month of January. And it is telling you that while we have a seated capacity of 49, only 36 people use the site. It is saying that the headcount based at the site is 52. Then we come upon more matrices which we derive from the top matrices. So we are saying the average attendance divided by the total capacity is how much. So that is basically a matrix which we are getting from the top matrices. From the basic, first we get the basic data, and from that data we're getting how much, how many people by the capacity. The second important piece of data that we are getting is the average attendance by head count. So the total attendance divided by the total head count. So you have a total head count of 52, out of that 48 people are coming every day. So that is also an important piece of information. So 36 people on an average come out of 52 people. So 36 divided by 52 gives you the 69%. So that's how it is, right? And maximum at a max 48 out of 52 is, sorry, 48 out of 52 is 92%. So at a max 92% of the people come on that particular day. Out of the 52 based head count, 92% come on this particular day at the max. On an average, and at the max by capacity, that is out of 49 capacity, 48 people are there. So we can see that on maximum days, the all the seats get filled up. So we're almost getting 100% occupancy on all the filled days. So this is high level data which we are getting. We have not drilled deep down like floor wise or any such thing. We're just giving high level data here. So this is the first step. Then because this is not enough, the management will also want you to know like what are the different spaces that are there in this facility. You say we have divided the spaces between various floors: workstations, open collab space, meeting room, cafeteria. So workstations, like we have got 16 workstations on the, we have a total of 49 workstations. As you can see, seated capacity is 49, and management would want to show like how the spaces are distributed. So this is showing the distribution of all the spaces. So you can increase more criticals. If you have got more critical spaces, you can have more critical spaces here, and we can show them like distributed across all the floors. And then what we have is the average attendance, and what we have is the maximum attendance. So the average attendance and maximum attendance, again, we have already discussed. This is only showing in the tabular form. And again, we have got more matrices which we have derived from the basic matrices. So again, this is more in the tabular format which we have discussed about. So this is about the first page. The second page is basically giving us the attendance by department. So it's showing like we've got Monday to Saturday. So how many people are coming on a day-to-day basis? So you see on Wednesday, you have the maximum amount of people coming. On Tuesday, still lesser. And you can even see like department wise. For example, HR takes a major chunk of the people coming on Wednesday. So this gives visualization to the management as to who's coming and how much they are coming. What is the percentage of HR coming out of the total lot, and on which days they are like coming at the max, or at an average we have already seen, right? So this is giving this is giving a deep down, and this is basically also telling the management which are the busiest date and which is the less busy days in the week. So I think this is pretty clear. There's nothing, and again, this is basically a dynamic chart that we create. So basically, um, I've just created, this is based on pseudo data. So we have got the January data. We don't have the entire February data. I've just created some February data just to show some dynamism here in the charts, right? So this is basically all January data. February data is not complete. So it is showing not complete data in the month of February. So you can see that we have created a dynamic chart. So as you go on adding the data, this keeps on getting updated. So I hope I'm clear till now. And again, you can basically see days wise. So we have provided slices here, so which basically help you. So example, if management just wants to view Wednesday, they can view this chart. So they're able to see like on Wednesday how many people from HR were there, how many people, for example, from finance, how many people were there from finance. So this is where slices are able to help the management in taking informed decisions. Okay, so now we go to the department-wise attendance. So there's one more very important aspect that comes out of this data from the badge access data is how are the basically across the various days, what is the average number of people from various departments? For example, from customer service, we can see like on Sunday, from what there are only 1.75 people on an average come to the site. From finance to, from HR to, and from we can see from this that the HR lot is coming at the max. Like on even on Sunday they have got like 2.3 people. On Friday they've got 8.5 people. I mean we can further round these up to like whole numbers, but it's just based on pseudo data, so it is coming in the form of decimals. So that's how. Um, so you can basically see how the visualization is working. And I guess this is still not enough. There's one more line of data that we need. The data this is showing us, the final set of data is showing us like what are the different floors, what is the capacity on each of the floors, what is the average attendance on each floor, and what is the average utilization on each floor. So you can see, for example, here the average utilization on, for example, third floor is at the max. On second floor, in January, you can see that you have a high utilization of the third floor, and you've got low utilization of first and second. Since the data might not be making all logic because it is based on pseudo data, but it is showing like third floor is highly utilized. So it basically gives a sense to the management that may perhaps some people from third floor can come down to first and second floor. So like that. So this, so we can use all these three reports in the form. So what is the DAX that we use? That is very important. Um, so let's go to the DAX codes. Uh, in order to um, calculate the attendance floor wise, we are using um, DAX like distinct count. In order to calculate like the average attendance, for example, let's go to the measure table. So the average, we use the average function to calculate the average attendance, right? And we use the max function to calculate the maximum attendance. And there's more DAX that we need to use. I guess people who are well versed with Power BI will know like what is the DAX to be used, but this is to give a basic idea of how we create a dashboard using basically simple DAX. I've not used any advanced DAX here, just use very simple functions to create a dynamic occupancy dashboard. Uh, if you want any guidance on how to create this dashboard, like if you don't know Power BI much, I can help you with it. You can reach me on my LinkedIn profile, and then I'll basically guide you how to create an occupancy dashboard. So thank you so much. We'll come back with more space management articles as to how to design a space later on. Thank you so much. Yeah.